fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me Bobby Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I run no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a dilute. I orange blood on my tongue. Thinking it's a raw blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. Then throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. A bunch of sitting in us, man, but you can't see me. You rather drink, they gon' pull up. I'm jugging out through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, come be brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the planks, you use the Decepticons. Fake rappers to retreat like Cobra. 80s they can throw they like. Up in the storage and I'm E-man. Up, down, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle plans to defeat it. Hot in my ride. You can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me. Cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket. My whole to the A. And I bet you can't stop us. LL bad when I go and show up. You can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Drake Mack, coming to you again with another episode of the Drake Mack Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast right now, go ahead and get up, because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And on today, a brother got to pull some Nostradamus out of the bag, because I predicted this 2 years ago that not only was Marvel going to bring back the old Avengers, and I'm for it, but I knew it was going to be a caveat because of what they was doing 2 years ago. And now we fast forward and look what they're doing now. And I feel like this retcon is bad, but for different reasons than you think. So we are going to get into this conversation today. Trust me, I done seen the Doomsday clock timeline, the ticker. We are 1 year away from Avengers Doomsday. And I seen the leaks, the leak audio of the X-Men theme song that I posted on my Instagram. I seen the leaked of the trailer for Steve Rogers and for Thor And I seen the brand new day leak trailer too. So there's a lot. But we gonna get into it today. Hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan channel. But you already know how I do. The real question is,
Are you
Say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
all right. Let's see who is all in the house today. Oh, Lord have mercy. I got something in my eye. What is this hair? All right. Hairs in my, yeah, that's what it is. It's hairs in my face. All right. Let's see who is all in the house. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. Marley Mars up in here. Good morning. Miss Roberta, the church auntie. Good morning. Q is not a robot. Good morning. Torian, Rainbow Lodi. Good morning. Alva Rodriguez. Good morning. Tina, aka Minty Gasm. Good morning. Junior Network. Good morning. All right, we close. We are close. 28 subscribers away. Let's keep pushing. We gonna keep pushing. And I just want to say shout out to Cool Colas because he's been doing this thing, man, and everything, man. So I wanted to shout him out, not just, hit him up on Instagram or whatever, but do it live on the show. Shout out to Cool Colas, man, doing a lot on his show and all of that, man. So on his channel, above 5,000 subscribers and pushing, so shout out to that brother. Xavier Phoenix, good morning. Presetta, good morning. Yeah, I could believe it because he doesn't care about my show. No, I'm just playing. No, I believe it. And again, I was going to do a reaction video to it, but I got my hair twisted and all of that. Didn't really get a lot of sleep. And then once I got out of here, went to work, came home, went to bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm only one man, and I'm 167 years old, y'all. 167 years old. You hear Torian with the Ovaltine shots? That's true. I drink the Ovaltine. I've never had that before in my life. You can get out of here. But yeah, so but J.D. Carter, what's up? Let me see. But I'm still, if I get some rest, I'll still do the reaction video and upload it, and it'll probably go up at like 4:00 as a reaction. But I gotta have some time. Honestly, me doing this Monday through Friday and try to get all the topics out, trust me, it'll be plenty days where I'll be like, nope, I can't do it. It'll be plenty of days, even when I wake up, be like, nope, you gotta have a rest day. But I'm keeping it moving, keeping it pushing. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all need, some butter biscuits. So I'm giving you all the biscuits that you can handle. So anyway, Erica D, what's up? Good morning. Brother Juma, good morning. Let me see. Blue is up in the house. What up? Nimace, what's up? Mario Faith Warrior, what's up? Good morning. Let me see. Let me see. Who is all up in here? He said Ovaltine game. He said Ovaltine for grown folks. Ovaltine for grown folks quick. That's quick. Oh man. He said we're glad the Ovaltine phase in has finally caught on. You was trying to get one. That's it. You was trying to get one. I remember in the 80s, everybody had a catchphrase. What you talk about, Willis? I know you ain't tripping. Astorian. I know y'all drinking y'all Ovaltine. Oh man. But you know what? Torian's been part of the magnificent crew, so I want to shout all you guys out, man. Let's go. Let's get to it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you know you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. So, go. Bye. All right. So again, if you do want to be a part of the crew, all you got to do is hit the join button to be a part of the crew. It helps out the channel a lot because, man, some days are harder than others, but we are still here. We're still standing. We're still strong. So let's go. Let's freaking go. All right. Before I get into it, I think when I did this video, I think there was an article that came out, and I'm trying to find this article. It's from 2 years ago, and I think it's from Variety. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's a Variety article, but we're gonna see if it's still in circulation, if it's still out there. Yep, the Variety article from November. Yep. Oh my God. Yep, it was a Variety article, and it was part. I think it was part of the Crisis at Marvel. But IGN also had this in here. Marvel reporting considering bringing back old Avengers cast for new movie. This was November 1st, 2023. I want y'all to keep that in mind because this was during the Jonathan Majors trial. Keep that in mind. But before we get into that, let's transition. It just feel like my hair is just maybe because I was asleep. And it's just it ain't laying down, you know. But before we get into that, let's take a commercial break. Let's get into it. Let's take a commercial break, and I'll be right back because we're about to get into it, and I'm going to tell you why this is actually a bad idea, but for the reasons you're not ready for. All right, let's do that. Let's go.
Will be
Right back.
It's just your mama's raisin butter biscuits. That's all it is.
Not my mama biscuits.
Whoop they do.
Nigga love to a biscuit, man.
Whoop they do.
Okay, so what happened is one time Randy Beeman went on a trip with his dad and they picked up a lady who wanted to ride home, and this was in Kansas. And she sat in the back seat, and when they got where she wanted to go, they turned around and she was gone. And Randy Beeman's dad talked to the man who lived there and told him what the lady looked like. And the man said, "Oh, that's my wife, but she died 4 years ago." Spooky, huh? Okay, bye.
Whoop they do.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Whoop they do.
Good idea. Visiting the circus. Bad idea. Having the circus visit you.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Okay. All right. transition over real quick, and I'm gonna share my screen. And this was part. Now, back then, November 1st, 2023, this was a part of the whole Variety article. And this was written by Alex Stedman. But let me get into what they said 2 years ago and why this came into fruition now. I think the only person that I did not hear about is Scarlett Johansson as far as being a part of the Doomsday or Secret Wars event. But Robin D, what's up? Yeah, we talked about this, Blue, back then, right? So we talked about this back then. So basically, I'm gonna just get to the crux of it. It said a beefy new report for Variety devs into some of the major issues surrounding the MCU, particularly those concerning the influx of content over the past few years since Avengers Endgame. One of the solutions that was considered, apparently a new Avengers movie will get overshadowed what I'm reading because of a doubleheader. I don't care about the Eagles in Washington. All right, anyway. Let me see. Apparently a new Avengers movie with the original cast. Now we know that excuse me, that new movie was Avengers Doomsday. We know that now. What's up? Judah Ben Israel TV. What's up? We know that now, right? But back then, all we thought about was Kang. Remember, the big Avengers movie was Kang Dynasty and Secret War, right? So now you're looking 2 years before. 2 years before that, we didn't know what the movie was going to be, right? We didn't know what the movie was going to be. So they were already talking about Robert Downey Jr. returning. When they announced that, it wasn't new news to me. I did not like it because then it undercut what they were trying to set up with Kane the Conqueror. And again, they could have recast Kane. If they didn't want Jonathan Majors, fine. Recast the character. But what they did was totally scrap it for a brand new movie and undercut everything they just built over the last 2 years coming into, to 2025. But in 2023, it was like, yeah, we can bring them back, but with a caveat, they can't just, you can't just have the old Avengers team just keep going. You got to be able to build or recast or do something different. You know what I mean? But you just can't rely on the old guard. You have to build up new stars. If anybody's a wrestling fan, we've talked about that. It goes in waves. Each decade or each wave, has their own star. The old guard leaves, the new star comes up. And now you're looking at like a John Cena, that took over for like The Rock, or you have a new star like Randy Orton that takes over for so and so, and so on and so forth. As you go along. Well, Marvel should have stuck to that same thing, but again, they were desperate, and I believe it was just I believe it was not Jonathan Major performance. Right? If it was Jonathan Major performance, I would have got rid of him altogether. So F what Idiotic was talking about in that video I did a reaction video to. So scrap what he's talking about. Number two, they could have kept Kang Dynasty and just rolled the ship out, right? They decided not to. That's strike one. I'm going to get to the Captain America part. Because again, I seen the new Steve Rogers trailer. I know what they just did with Anthony Mackie's Captain America. It's straight garbage. And that's going to be the problem when you try to establish 2 years of lore and then you bring all these guys back and make them, again, the focal point. That's a problem. Hold on. Hero Culture, thank you so very much being a member for a month. Do you agree with Comic Book Cast 2 on the WB merger? I don't know what Comic Book Cast 2 has said. What I did hear from what's the big what's the big publication? Oh man, it wasn't CNN. It was the AP. What I understand now is that the board of directors has came out to the stockholders and said, do not accept this deal. Do not accept this deal. And for what I understand, they will not accept the deal, and the Warner Brothers Netflix merger is going to happen. Is what I hear. I don't know what Comic Book Cast 2 has said, but I know reading the AP article, and I read it last night, that they're going to talk to the board. I mean, to the stockholders and say, nope, the board of directors is already on board about blocking the deal with Paramount, and they want to merge with Netflix. So that's all I know for right now. So, okay. So let me just read what they were saying 2 years ago, and then I'm gonna bring up a Dre Mac from I'm gonna get in my time travel machine, and I'm gonna see what Dre Mac was talking about 2 years ago when he had a little bit bigger beard, bigger head. You know what I'm saying? More forehead to be able to look through. So we gonna get into that here in a moment and do a reaction video to what I said then, and see does it match up what I'm saying now. All right. Let me see this. All right. So that would, per the Variety report, include the returns of Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark Iron Man. We know now that that Robert Downey Jr. is returning as Doom. So we know that Scarlett Johansson is out. According to Blue, she's out, and I think because of the whole thing that happened with the day and date thing and what was going on with Disney, I think she's out anyway. They gotta probably offer her dumb dollars for her to even make a cameo. But we'll see, because we still don't know who's going to show up in these movies. So we know that, right? It said, despite their deaths in Endgame, Marvel, however, reportedly hasn't committed to this drastic proposal. We know now that they fully committed. All right, that's at least particularly due to the fact that given MCU actors famously high salaries, that plan will prove pricey for a studio that's already been bleeding money. According to Variety sources, Downey's upfront salary for Iron Man 3 was $25 million, and that's not even considered the percentage of box office earnings that many actors earn as compensation as well. Well, we know now they gave him all the Disney bucks to come out. Now, remember, Jonathan Major reportedly was going to get $20 million over three movies. He was making $25 million plus box office revenue off of one movie. And he was probably making box office revenue off of the other movies. Now, this talks about the issues with the MCU. Going back to the OG Avengers crew would be no small thing, especially consider how Endgame was such a positively received conclusion to the MCU Infinity Saga. But as a Variety report delves into, the MCU is at something of an existential crossroad at the moment, which returned Disney CEO Bob Iger has been struggling to get a hold on. This also falls into the drama surrounding Marvel Studios firing of Victoria Alonso back in March. I forgot she got fired. Me and Blue did talk about that. I forgot she got fired. I forgot about that. And a shocking development at the time, considering Alonso was one of Marvel's most influential producers. They didn't fire who they should have fired, which was Nate Moore. They fired Victoria Alonso. I literally forgot about this. Let me see. At the time, it was reported that Alonso was fired over a contract breaching regarding her being a producer on Amazon Studios' Oscar-nominated drama Argentina in 1985. Variety sources, however, say that it was actually a reaction to the perceived plummet of quality in the MCU since Endgame, especially surrounding the VFX, which was at one point horrible. Let's be honest. It was horrible. We can most definitely look at Thor: Love and Thunder. We can most definitely look at Ant-Man and the Wasp of the Quantumania with just MODOK. I don't know what was they thinking about that, but we can point to that. So they got that one. As the president of physical post-production, VFX, and animation at Marvel Studios, much of the buck fell on Alonzo. Effects on the show like WandaVision and She-Hulk went down to the wire. Variety reports and issues like an exhausted 14-hour day spurred the studio's VFX workers to vote unanimously to unionize in September. Meanwhile, Ant-Man and the Wasp of Quantumania, which officially kicked off the MCU back in February, was heavily criticized for its VFX. See, again, everybody was talking about Jonathan Majors. You see what we were talking about, Idiotic, in his video? He had the nerve to criticize Jonathan Majors' performance and not the writing, not the VFX, not all of the other problems that went on with that movie. They didn't want to deal with that because, again, it was easier to push a narrative than to easily do a Google search and find out what the other problems were, especially with that movie. All right, so I'm not going to get into the VFX. We kind of already know what that is. All right, this is what I wanted to get into. The issue has also bled over to the studio's long trouble Blade reboot. Rich has gone through multiple writers and directors and reportedly even considered bumping Oscar-winning star Mahershala Ali down to the fourth lead. The fourth lead. Now, remember, and this is I'm going to bring this up with who they've been trying to establish now. You make this whole announcement about what you're going to have as far as a studio. Oh, we're bringing out Moon Knight. We're bringing out Miss Marvel. We're bringing out Agatha. We're bringing out WandaVision. Falcon is going to have his own show along with the Winter Soldier. It's going to be a buddy cop thing where he, becomes a new Captain America. We got these other movies coming out. It's going to establish more lore, yada, 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 yada. All this. And then Marvel did not stick to the landing on any of this stuff. It's beyond the performance. Let's be honest. I understand they wanted to bring out an Echo show, but when Echo does nothing for the overall aesthetic of or the overall push of your universe, then that's a problem with the studio trying to put way too much out there without actually having a guideline and a plan how all this is going to connect. I talked about that, but then you introduce characters, you develop them in certain shows, and they never show up again. I literally just watched last night. I was watching Eternals, and again, Eternals is long. There's some boring parts, but there's some lore that they could have built off of. Of course, just being honest with you, me and D Stizzle has gone back and forth on this, talking about this, but technically, I don't like how they did the Deviants, because the Deviants wasn't Beast, and then they got to take the powers of the Eternals and yada, 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 or whatever. That's, There wasn't like that type of beast that, four-leg crawling, crawling like monster hyenas or whatever, But there was lore there that could have tied in to the X-Men, even if you did it on another universe. You could have tied it into the X-Men because the Eternals and the Deviants and the X-Men have the Eternals and the Deviants are vital to the X-Men story. The Deviants are vital to Thanos' story, which him having a deviant gene. But when you don't put the plan together, you try to introduce characters, like Pip the Troll and Star Fox and all of these people, Thor: Love and Thunder, introduce Hercule. Wow, you'll never see the people again. You'll never see him again. And that's what's bringing me to why this is a problem. They wanted to, there's reports back 2 years ago, they wanted to make Mahershala Ali Matter of fact, not just Mahershala Ali, Oscar-winning star Mahershala Ali, the fourth lead in his own movie. Think about that for a second. You have a Oscar-winning star. You didn't do that with what's her name that plays Carol Danvers? You didn't do that. You know, but you wanted to make Mahershala Ali the third star. I mean, the fourth star in the movie. In a Blade movie, which should be a slam dunk because it's like vampire movie. You've already introduced, Werewolf by Night. And by that time, I believe Werewolf by Night already came out. And you're telling me you couldn't do nothing with werewolves. You know what I mean? It's the way that they treated the characters in this, right? The way that they treated the characters was astoundingly bad. Let's just be honest. Two-time. I'm sorry, my bad. Two-time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he ain't Booker T because he was a five-time WCW champion. But I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Man, do I love being a turtle? But if they treated the character of Black Panther, T'Challa, the way that they did, do you think they care about anybody else? Let me say that again. This is why I recast T'Challa. This is why I had a problem with, the way that people like Fantastic Frankie was coming off and doing all of this mental gymnastics and narrative pushing or whatever, because they didn't see the bigger picture. You do this to him. Jabari, what's going on? You do this to him. The guy that had a solo movie that just made you, all this money, right? You made all this money. And then you decide, I'm not gonna pay him. Matter of fact, Sissy, she's most definitely, she grifted so she could get in to get paid. Let me shut up. Because it ain't about her. I'm not tripping off of her. But I do. They did all of that mental gymnastics to tell you that we don't need T'Challa. Right? And then you had agents getting popular on social media repeating the same rhetoric. Then they use the death of this man to push to push their movie. Right? E-Man got to go defend it. Whether you agree with how he defended it or not doesn't even matter at this point. It doesn't even matter because they showed you what they're going to do. And then when they did that, why do you think Yahya Abdul-Mateen is not being pushed in his own show? Why are they having the character of Trevor Slattery, and I love Ben Kingsley, one of the great actors of our time. One of the great actors of our time. No shade to him. I'm looking at Marvel. The way that they pushed it. They don't care. We're just going to dump it all on there because they don't care. Because their whole plan was to reset this thing all over again. They did all of these characters. Did not give them proper build-up. Do you know right now that the grifters are rejoicing because Steve Rogers is back as a Captain America? But then, honestly, I can't be mad at the grifters on that. You know why? Because Marvel underdeveloped Captain America, Sam Wilson. You know why? You stuck him in a crappy movie that was reshot to holy hell. You had him fight a character he shouldn't have been fighting in the first place. Let's keep it a buck. He should have been fighting the Serpent Society. It should have been a plot for him. No, we want to do this whole thing and make Harrison Ford the, you know what I'm saying, the big bad of this. Because Nate Moore, who should have been fired a long time ago, was on board with, you know, William Hurt being recast, but not T'Challa. And then you know who suffered? Anthony Mackie. But again, because they treated T'Challa like that, they treated the character like that, they made Chadwick Boseman a deity. You know what I mean? They prod him up, push him up, so you can buy tickets, so you can feel sorry to go watch that movie. And again, the movie is not as a movie itself. It's not a bad movie. It's actually a really great movie if it's not called Black Panther. But when they did him like that, do you think that was going to do anybody else any justice? No. And Sam Wilson, you feeling it now. People were pissed because, look, you put him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You had all this buildup. Bucky really got the best character arc. Let's be real. From an emotional beat standpoint, people talked about Bucky more than they talked about Sam Wilson. All they was like was, you could point out the flaws in Sam Wilson. He could be a counselor to everybody until he was talking to Isaiah Bradley. Then all of a sudden, he's like, I don't want to hear that, you know, that angry old man. I've been through this, old man. Oh, but you are so empathetic when it's other people's problems. But when we're talking about the past and how black people feel about the past, then you want to make him a dick. Then you throw him, you make him Captain America in the last episode, the very last episode. You made him have I understand the speech, but the speech, I'm going to be honest, that speech wasn't natural. The way that they wrote it was not a natural speech. I understand it. I get it. But if I'm critiquing from a movie, from a critical standpoint, from an actor standpoint, listening to this, I'm like, that sounds a little forced. It sounds a little forced. And then you threw him in the crappiest reshoot that you could ever possibly find. Because you did not believe in the character at all. Now he suffers. But again, I'm not blaming Anthony Mackie for that at all. Because what did they do? What did they do to develop the characters? What did they do with Shuri, Black Panther, who should have showed up in Ironheart? Nope. She should have showed up in anything. Where was she at during the Thunderbolts? Where was Captain America Sam Wilson during the Thunderbolts? What is going on? You underdeveloped these characters. Moon Knight missing. You see what I mean? Blade missing, but you want to put a voice actor. When Mahershala Ali is there, you can find a voice actor for him and make Moon Knight, Blade Moon Knight. And then half of the people that you want to go to the movies to see them on screen are not watching Disney Plus for these shows because you did not. Marvel Studios, make them cohesive. So when this line says, then there was a major legal trouble surrounding Jonathan Majors, where reportedly had MCU executives considering a pivot from his Kang to another villain, Dr. Doom, which we all know who's playing Dr. Doom. But they were talking about replacing Kang with Dr. Doom after Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania. That weekend did not hit the way that they thought. And they were going to pivot then. But again, they blamed Jonathan Majors Kang and not the writing, not the poor CGI that was on Kevin Feige's desk. This is all his fault. You're the head of the studio. You telling me you watched that movie, you was like, absolutely fabulous in this CGI. Yeah, you could fire Miss Alonzo, but you're the guy running the ship. And you greenlit that. That was cool. It was cool for your big bad in the MCU, who had a fantastic debut in Loki as He Who Remains, because we knew when He Who Remains dies, is going to open up the whole entire multiverse, and we're going to have the true Kang. So you had your Kang prom get beat by ants, and you watch that movie, and you say, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. These problems are not the actor's faults. This is not Oscar Isaac's fault. This is not the young lady who played Echo's fault. She's just they're getting a job. It's not Yahya Abdul Mateen's fault. They the one who want him as Wonder Man. But then they're going to dump this crap. And then what's going to happen with Wonder Man after that? If you're making your next movie a sequel to Avengers Endgame, you're going to turn around and retcon all of this mess. And I feel bad for the actors because there are people who like to see these characters on screen. We want to see them do more. We don't want to see them get thrown away. You're gonna keep Shang-Chi, cool. But what did you do to Shang-Chi after his movie? Put him in a couple of Disney Plus cartoons? Whoop-de-doo. You brought out Agatha. You did this whole Agatha show to bring out Billy and Tommy. Cool. We don't get Tommy just yet, but Billy's out there. And you do what with these guys? Are you doing a Champions or Young Avengers? But I'm calling it Champion. Are you going to do that? No, because Marvel itself is not being cohesive. And I said this before. I said this when I did that video. What was this, last week? Where I said, where the F are they at? Where's all these people at? You can say what you want about James Gunn. You can say what you want about Supergirl. What you cannot deny is that he introduced Supergirl in the Superman movie at the end of the tail end of the movie. Guess what? She's going into the next movie. So there's a follow-up from the character. We seen Lex Luthor, in the Superman movie. He turned around now. He's in Peacemaker. Peacemaker, who just had his season ended, was in Superman. The Justice Gang was in Peace. It's not hard. It's not hard. But Marvel made it hard, trying to be no limit. So let me just do this. Let's bring up Dre Mack from Dre Mack from way back. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring out Dre Mack from way back. And I'm putting this at the 12-minute mark. Let's see exactly what's up, KO23. What's up? All right, let's see. Make sure y'all get the likes up. Get the likes up, people. Get the likes up. Uncle Ben's Rice's nephew, what's good? Let's see what Dre Mack had while he's wearing this Wolverine shirt, covering up that massive ass forehead. Let's see what he's talking about. Old Avengers. Oh,
And
I playing the
everybody
old
thinks
music.
that this is going to save the day, which in a portion of it would help. But what you do is you hinder all the progress that you've made.
I said this 2 years ago, people. You see them big ass eyes? I said this 2 years ago. That dude's funny looking, man. That dude, hurry up. Let's get this dude off screen. Jesus.
That you're trying to build. Yes. Would I love to see Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and all these people return? Yes. I would love that. But just like WCW in the 1990s when the NWO took over, what's going to happen?
Tell him,
Is that
Dre.
you might win a couple of fights here and there, but you lose the war.
Anybody who wants to go in and try to test this was 2 years ago. Matter of fact, this was 2 years ago, and I only had 16 likes on this video, and it was 115. It was 115 views. Nobody really watched this, but I literally, what you can't say, I'm not consistent. What you cannot say is I'm not consistent. Let's keep going. What did Dre have to say? What more? I'm trying to tell you, can't say I'm not consistent. I've been saying this. You know it, Erica D. I've been saying this.
You lose the war. If Marvel really believes that Jonathan Majors was innocent this whole entire time, you don't scrap the multiverse saga. You endure, like in Batman. When to me, Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Rolling Stones, they're the Joker right now, because what they're doing is causing chaos. You know what I'm saying? Just like how the Joker said all these people would eat each other. All you got to do is give them a little punch, right? If you go back and you read the Rolling Stones, you know what I'm saying? You read the Hollywood Reporter, you read Variety, all they're doing is giving the people who's watching, who's reading this stuff a push, right? So if Jonathan Majors wins, they can be able to say how the justice system how the justice system failed women.
Boy, when I tell you, I'm trying. I all I'm saying is I've always been consistent about what I've said. Even with the Jonathan Major situation, I was right, because remember, after he got charged with this was way before I met Jonathan, all of that. We was with me, Pam, Kat, Chill, Blue, oh Lord have mercy, Tina, I'm missing what's her name, going to courts, all of that. I called it then. When he got the lesser charge, they said it still failed women. And Danny, well, I don't know why I couldn't think of Danny's name. It still said he failed women, but it wasn't even about that. And I'm gonna kind of skip past that part or whatever. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying, it was still true. Marvel didn't want to endure. They got scared. Instead of building up new stars, they bring it back Hulk Hogan. They bring it back Macho Man. They bring it back Ted DiBiase. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Perfect. People that's past their prime. They've already had their time to shine. You know what I mean? And instead of building Sam Wilson could have been so compelling in that movie. But no. You said Dre Timely wavy things. I'm just saying. I've always been consistent about everything I said. Anybody can pull up anything. I've always been consistent. Always been consistent. But that's the problem with Marvel. You build up all these stars, or you trying to get us on board with all these stars, and guess what? They're going to be scrapped, because when they consolidate, they're doing the same thing that Crisis on Infinite Earths did, and what Secret Wars did in the comics. Consolidated what they want, throwing away what they don't want. And they know you're nostalgic for Robert Downey Jr. They know you're nostalgic for Chris Hemsworth Thor. You know what I mean? They know you love those. They know you love them. They know you love them. So their way of getting everybody back into the cinema was getting these people back. And on this day, I talked about that article. Let me see what else I was talking about. Think about it for just a second. Think about how this would fare. Marvel doesn't care about women. Look what they did. They hung on to Jonathan Majors, even though he won. The justice system and all of this have failed women, and women have to go through domestic violence every day, and women have to do this, which is true. There are real victims out there. Let me get past
Jonathan
that.
Majors is.
They got to go on a Jonathan Majors rant.
You'll have to wait and see what happens. But again,
this was
according to what we've seen, it looked like Jonathan Majors got attacked and not hurt. So who's the real victim? But we're going to see during the trial and all of that, which I will cover. Now, back to the Avengers Assemble. If you're going to bring them back, you can only, if The Rock means only, bring them back for Secret Wars. And that's it. And when you do bring them back, if you're going to bring somebody back like Robert Downey Jr., he only can come back for Secret Wars.
Alvin Rodriguez. Oh, did I miss somebody's super chat? I think I missed somebody's super chat. My bad. DeAndre Mosley, thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. Marvel failed to build up their legacy characters to take the reins like Sam Wilson, Captain America, Ironheart, and Shang-Chi. Now they're backtracking. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know, when I'm backtracking some of these biscuits.
Taste the biscuit.
Thank you for your
Taste the
super chat.
goodness of the biscuit.
Thank you so very much for that super chat. I said Robert Downey Jr. can only come back for Secret Wars. And this was 2 years ago before I knew about Doomsday, all of that. Did they not sign up for Doomsday, which would have been Kane Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars? And then after that, he's gonna ride off in the sunset. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Alvin Rodriguez. I'm gonna be real with you. You have to. I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be. This is just my. I gotta give this disclaimer. And Blue no, because I've been saying this. Put on my tinfoil do rag. Tinfoil do rag is on. Jonathan Majors met Grace Jabari on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp of Quantumania. All of a sudden, he starts dating this woman. She's recording everything that he does, making himself look like a monster. In March, before the allegations actually happened, Marvel had a meeting in Malibu, decided they was going to pivot from Kang Dynasty, bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. He goes through this trial. All of a sudden, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, who went through, let me just say this, who went through the same thing with Kevin Porter Jr., was not a trial. They gave him a plea deal. Right? Kevin Porter Jr. was playing for, I think, the Portland Trailblazers at that time. He was dating, I forgot, Chris. She has a German last name. I can't think of the young lady's name. Come to find out that Manhattan District, I'm just giving you what I think. Manhattan District Attorney's Office was caught. And shout out to Lord have mercy, Lori Victoria Burke, LVB, Lori Victoria Burke, and Roland Martin for digging up the information that the Manhattan District Attorney's Office was planting information. You know what I'm saying? So they can set him up to get charged, even though that young lady did not give any of the information. It was on tape. That all of a sudden, when Jonathan Majors go through his situation, just like Kevin Foss before him, who got fought by, who had his case, you know what I'm saying? Who was his attorney was Prior Chaudhry, who won that case against the Manhattan District Attorney's Office when it came to the Adam Foss case. But when it came to Jonathan Majors, there's all of a sudden this major trial, and they wanted to go, go to court and have it massive. And then all of a sudden, they did not bring out information that happened on the day that everything happened. They didn't spend time talking about what happened in the truck. They knew what happened in the truck. They knew he got chased. What they did was pull up everything that had nothing to do with that date to make him like the bad guy. And then after they found him not guilty on all major charges except reckless assault, which is means he did not put his hands on that young lady just in the midst of whatever happened. That young lady got hurt, but he didn't do it intentionally. And a city violation, Marvel dumped him that same day. And you're telling me she was secretly recording him and she met him at work, and that didn't sound strange to you? Again, just wearing my tinfoil do-rag, tied up in the back, and y'all didn't think that didn't sound funny? And how the Rolling Stone and all these major publications that knew Marvel was going to pivot was trying to destroy Majors in the aftermath. Now, I'm not saying that Jonathan Majors was just, was out fault. I'm not going to say even he said he could have did things better. All I'm saying is everything the Manhattan District Attorney's Office did after myself, literally talking to Pyra myself, face to face in New York. It was like, okay, I used to work for the court system back in the day. You telling me that you went down to court and y'all couldn't even get a plea deal on this misdemeanor? It was like they didn't want to. They didn't want to. Now, if the district attorney's office is caught trying to set up Kevin Porter Jr. by falsifying documentation that he harmed the young lady that he was with, what do you think of a phone call that's coming in from higher people with Disney dollars? Hey, I need you to make this happen for me, big dog. I know I ain't got all the information, but I need to make this happen. And I'm only bringing this up because I seen what Sony was trying to do with Michael Jackson. I seen what they were doing with Michael Jackson. So it is not out of the realm of possibility. So all I'm saying, I'm not saying this is right. All I'm saying is it's not out of the realm of possibility. Because I always ask, if this is your girl, why is she setting you up like this? Why all of a sudden now she got her phone on record on everything you do? We didn't even know you had a girlfriend. That all of a sudden you getting secretly recorded and that don't sound fishy to you? All I'm saying, I'm gonna take a real quick commercial break. Real quick, because we got some biscuits to debate. I'm gonna be right back. Right back with the Dre Mack Show. Don't go nowhere. Hit the like button.
Hey, y'all, I got a great new album in the mail today.
I don't like the way the honey sauce dripping on my chicken wings, my chicken wings. But I got the honey sauce, the honey sauce for your chicken wings, for your chicken wings. Yeah.
This is a fantastic album, man. Let me borrow it.
No, my brother. You've got to buy your own.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Let's see what this big head. Let's just look at that. I'm not gonna lie. I do miss when my arcades was actually all three. They were on the wall, and then I bought too many, and I can't put them on the wall like that. I do miss that. Anyway, let's keep going. See if I had anything else.
Right? Why is that? You killed this man in the movie, just like you did with T'Challa. I'm bringing this. I'm circling this back. You killed the man in the movie. We all seen it. I cried. Tears came to my face, and I was in the 4D thing. So when the little pond moved, they blew little bits of air in your face. So I don't know if it was the air of my feelings, but I know tears was falling from my face. So to bring him back and just bring him back from the dead when you didn't do that with T'Challa is hella disrespectful.
Sure is.
So if you're going to bring Robert Downey Jr. back, he has to be an alternate version of the Tony Stark that we've seen in this movie. It would really be awesome if you bring him back as the 838 version of Iron Man, or the universe where Ultron survived that he was evil. And also at the same time, this is the catch, have another alternate Tony Stark in hand. Because again, in the comic book Secret Wars, they plucked the ones they didn't want, and they kept the ones they did. So now you have a Tony Stark.
Now that brings back to my point. They're going to keep the characters that they want going forward. That's what they're going to do. Marvel is going to look at everything, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Ironheart may not survive. I'm just be honest. I don't think Ironheart's going to survive. I don't think Echo is going to survive. I don't think Moon Knight is going to come back. I'll be surprised if they did Blade. I'll be surprised. I think they're going to focus on, the small group of Avengers who's going to go forward, but I don't think none of them people is going to. Alvin, you read my mind. All the ones they think this DEI is gone. Why do you think they're dumping Wonder Man? They're going to focus on the X-Men in this next phase. I mean, hell, Emergency Awesome has been saying that for a long time. This is going to be, they're going to go into the X-Men phase and really focus on that. So I don't think a lot of those characters are going to survive after Secret Wars. Just being real with you. Just being honest with you. And then this is going to be their way of saying, look, especially with the emotional climate right now, this is going to say, hey, look, we got rid of the ones you didn't want. We brought back Steve Rogers and this. It sucks. It sucks. Just being honest with you, it sucks. But let me see what more did I have to say about this, and
Start, which is Robert Downey Jr., and you have his variant, which could be played by somebody else. You still got about a few years before we get to that, right? You have another one that's right there. So when you do, and Robert Downey Jr. is gone, you could be able to have this one already. The audience, the casual audience will already be ready for this version of Tony Stark, because he's already in the film and we already know he's a variant version. So you can be able to kill off again that version of Iron Man, and you already have an Iron Man already ready to go. Follow me on this one. T'Challa, you know what you did, and this is what with the crisis at Marvel did not mention, that you took a major star in T'Challa. I'm not talking about Chadwick. A major star in T'Challa, who is vital to Secret Wars and was going to be vital to the MCU, right? You took him and you said, well, Nate Moore, we don't need this guy. I mean, we got Shuri, we got T'Challa, age him up. Like somebody said in the comment section, age up Morgan Stark. Nope, she should take over the mantle of Iron Man. They're not going to do that. This is why I told you 2 years ago we were already on it. Anybody that ever tried to check my credentials, just pull up my old videos. I've been talking about this. I just thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. Do you think they will recast Iron Man, Steve Rogers, Thor, and Wolverine, or keep using Hugh and the others? They're most definitely going to use Hugh up. They're going to use Hugh up. Just being facts. It depends on if Chris Evans starts getting more money, you damn well he's gonna come back. Chris Hemsworth loves playing Thor. He'll play Thor till hell. That's really the only major role that he's had. So yes, he's gonna be there. And if they do a recast on Iron Man, I believe they because literally you're gonna have to have an Iron Man in this series again because of the loud minority. Because you can say they don't listen to them, bull job. They did it with She-Hulk. If you don't make She-Hulk the way that they did by trying to troll these people like idiotic Mayor McNugget, Tyrone Thumbheads, and all these other people, if that small minority wasn't that damn loud, you don't troll them because you don't pay them no attention. You just make the best movie the best movie or best TV show that you can. But because they're loud and they're the minority, unfortunately, they're going to listen. And I really believe they're going to start all the way over again. And I don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't want to, but this is just ugh. It's ick. But
Let me go ahead and get you hooked up. Let's go.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
You wanna be my enemy.
Yeah, buddy. What up, Kendo? Yeah, CGI AI will keep them around and just pay actors a percentage for likeness use. That is weird because I ain't gonna lie, AI is weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. AI is too weird for me. I don't like it. But enough of this guy. Get this guy off my screen. Get that guy. Look at him. That face he was making, like he was smelling butter biscuits. And it was like, I can't wait to have a taste. But it's unfortunate because there was a point in time where Marvel was a launching point for like, a major push when it comes to Hollywood. You were getting more jobs, you was getting a lot more stuff. And unfortunately, I don't see that now. I really think they're going to scale. I honestly believe they're going to scale back. I think they're going to scale back, and then we're going to see who they want you to see, who's popular. It's just they did this with the comics. That's why I said they need a Marvel. They need to do a Marvel Nice line, and we're going to go back to status quo. I really believe that. I believe we're going to go back to status quo. And, it is what it is. Tino, you said, do you think starting over will produce a better Secret Wars? I'm gonna just say this. The Russo brothers don't miss. Just being honest with you. The Russo brothers don't miss at all with the Marvel content. It might be in their other content, but the Russo brothers to me don't miss. And they're going to make a hell of a movie. They're going to make a hell of a movie. Let me set up a little bit. The problem that I have right now with this is, again, you established these stars. Even when Spider-Man was introduced, he had a great arc in Civil War. He just had a better movie, and then he had a better movie. You turn around and you make Black Panther badass in Captain America Civil War. Right? I mean, incredible performance. I mean, Chadwick Boseman is on everybody's. And that's why I said, man, people have revisionist history on this. So I don't listen to grifters. They have revisionist history on this. But everybody was talking about Chadwick. And they said, you know what? The character doesn't mean anything. But we still need a Red Hulk, so bring back. They would have used William Hurt's corpse if they could. But not on the guy who makes you money, because at the end of the day, I don't trust Disney. Especially, like I said, after the investor meeting and all of that, I do not trust Disney at all. Not Marvel, Disney. Disney still has a deep-rooted hatred for blacks and women. I'm sorry. Because you don't have a board of directors member say that you don't kick, or an investor, and you don't kick him out. So, my personal thoughts, again, this is me with the tinfoil hat on. Not saying that I'm right. Not saying that I'm right. But what I am saying is that I was right. I was right then. I knew it. I knew it. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew it. And what did they do? Pay Robert Downey Jr. $73 million to be in, or $75 million to be in 2 movies. And then he's going to go away. Then who's going to be Dr. Doom? You still need a Dr. Doom with the Fantastic Four. But skip all of that. Bring back the old Avengers, like I said. You said, wait a minute. I need to see Dre, Ryan Coogler, and Nate Moore in a handicap match. No. I don't. You know what's funny? I don't have I want to get this addressed. I don't have a problem with Ryan Coogler or Nate Moore on a personal level. I don't like the way that they went about the business of Black Panther. I don't. That's what it really is. I don't like the way that they treated the character. I don't like the way the character was written in their movies, because that is not the character. I don't like the way that he was he was sidelined for other characters like Killmonger, you know what I'm saying, and in General Ross. I don't care about General Ross, even though he's, depending on whose run he's in, he is a big character, but I don't care. I came for T'Challa in the ups and downs of the hero's journey of T'Challa, but we focus more on Killmonger than anything. That's what I don't like. If I met Ryan Coogler right now, so shake his hand, hey brother, you still doing an amazing job, because Sinners was amazing, Creed was amazing, Fruitvale Station was amazing. I can say I like his stuff. I don't like what he did with T'Challa in the Black Panther franchise. I don't like it. You know what I mean? And also, to do that makes you, to not recast, makes you look like a gatekeeper. Sorry. It makes you look like a gatekeeper. And yes, Shuri was Black Panther in the comics, right? She was Black Panther, but so was T'Challa. He was still there, and he never left. And to give T'Challa's intelligence to Shuri, when Shuri was really the warrior. Like, T'Challa is overall badass, but he's the one with the intelligence, whatever. To strip him of who he is, and Nate Moore wrote that, that's completely on Nate Moore. Ryan Coogler. He wrote it. And then you don't recast the character. Then you make this big hugbug about, how much Chadwick, meant to you, but you didn't even know the man had cancer. And it was a shock to you. And I'm just making a conspiracy theory. Yep, it's a conspiracy theory that he was pissed off that he didn't tell him, and that's the reason why they didn't recast the character. That's it. I ain't saying I'm right, because I don't know what happened. I'm just making a guess, a hypothesis based on just information that I'm piecing together myself. I'm not saying I'm right, because that'd be idiotic to say, oh, I know. No, I don't. I wasn't there. But I can see that happening. I'm not saying it did, but I can see it happening. That's really it. But I don't hate the man. I don't even know dude. And he does make good stuff. But I can easily see a young man who wants to be in the MCU, wants to create his career, wants to, elevate his career, want to go out there and be T'Challa, but this man is stopping it because he want to do a baby daddy story and age up the child instead of going along with the character. It just don't fly with me. I'm sorry. It just don't.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right. I do. That's why I be having them taste the biscuits, because he be having the goodness of the biscuits. With the honey sauce. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's Erica D. It's weird. It's weird to me. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it doesn't surprise me. And like I said, and kill the queen. Yep, kill Queen Ramonda. And like I said, I had a really good friend of mine I had two good friends of mine that was comedians. One was a writer. Well, both of them was writers in Hollywood. And again, I hear so many stories. It's not surprising to me. It's not surprising. But Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys saying that this is a good stream. I hope you guys continue to like it. Please, 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 on the way out, get the thumbs up. Please get the thumbs up. But what do you guys think? Was a brother right? That was 2 years ago, November of 2023. It's December of 2025. Was a brother right? Did I call it? Did I say that it's a problem? Because this is bad because you're still underdeveloped all your characters. Now you're going to recast these. You're going to dump all these characters that some people got invested of, and it was all for nothing. What do you guys think? Put it in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. But again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher. Don't be surprised if you see a stream come up later on. Just don't be surprised. Just get on here and support a brother. Where's my outro at? Look, you already know. I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.